Is it on? It's on! Sorry, guys. It like delayed and then it didn't do something. Didn't make the noise. What the heck's going on with this thing? It's your boy, Frank. American Eagle Rises. How you guys doing for a Thursday? It is hot, 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 hot. I probably shouldn't have gone walking. Yeah, but I did. And we're back. We didn't die, but we're still drinking tons of what? Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's going to rain pretty soon, though, so it's going to cool down temperature-wise. And might be mostly rain, like, pretty much, I think most of the weekend, actually. I don't know. We'll see. So we might be doing some things inside. Maybe we'll just play one of the games we got. I don't know. We got too many projects. We got to get at least one done this weekend. Hopefully I feel okay. Coming into Friday, I don't feel too bad. Yeah, work's just... Yeah, sorry guys. My entire jaw is feels like it's just... Oh my gosh, and my neck. I carry all my stress here, so sorry I'm a little fidgety. I apologize for that. I'm just trying to relax as much as I can. So, gosh, first Ozzy, and then Hulk Hogan. Man, you gotta... I tell you, man, I love me some Hulk Hogan. I loved him. I even loved him when he was like a bad guy. I just loved him. Totally out there. It's like, what, brother. Just love that. I'm a real American when he comes in at the end. Oh my God. Jeez, I'm trying to remember when I started to watch it. Me and my sister just, oh my God, we loved it was called WWF back then. And I think we got into it before he was like the champ. And, yeah, 80, I can't remember, 82, 83, something like that. We weren't, I was probably like maybe 7. Wait. No, I was more than 7. Maybe Michelle was missing. I can't, it's a while. Going way back, we loved a lot of those, even some of the bad guys. I used to like the Iron Sheik, It was like one of those guys that you hated to love, you loved to hate. Definitely. I remember when Andre the Giant was like a good guy, and then he became a bad guy. Who's that? Randy, Macho Man. God, I loved him too. He was awesome. So, Rowdy Piper. I think Jake the Snake was later. I'm trying to remember. Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the 2x4. Ho! Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know, Michelle. You watch it, man. Hulk Hogan's gone, man. Man, almost all those wrestlers of that era are gone, man. It'd be hard to find one that's still around. Heck, Triple H is like 40 or something. It's, yeah. Life moves on. Who's going to go on stage and rip this? We can't, it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. And he's got those big pythons. Sorry, man, I can't. Man, I got my dad's arms lengths. Look, it's not bad, but guys, this is, I'm not kidding you. This is all muscle. The bone is it's like skinny. I'm telling you guys, it's and my legs are probably worse. They're like little chicken, they're super long and they're skinny as hell. And my arms are, look how long my arms are, man. Look, my elbow. It's yeah, guys, I don't know. I never had a lot. Yeah, I got my dad's build. He was real lanky. So yeah, I must have some of his. And then I got a little bit of my mom. So that's why I got maybe a little bit more here than my dad. But yeah, I definitely got his height. Got the skinny bones. What do you think? Anyway, yeah, let's look at some other things. Nothing spectacular. What is this? They changed it again. I don't know why they do this, guys. What did that say? GM and Stellantis hit by Trump tariffs. No. Liars. Pants on fires. They finally admitted here at MSN that the Japanese trade deal was the biggest one. So, hey, hey, haters. Go ahead, haters. Come on. We need more views. Half my comments from the last video were haters. And it looks like I think it's only one hater. But he made 2 accounts. Because he posted and then he made another one and replied to it. And the reply guy made a new one. And this guy here made a reply. And it was kind of like the same comment too. But if you're a subscriber, hey, that's fine with me. I don't care. Did you like it? Do it, man. There was something about... Oh, it was right here. But anyway, it looks like Gladys Maxwell's and... yeah, what is this? House committee votes to subpoena DOJ in latest major move for Epstein case. I thought we talked about that. It says 9 hours ago. They must be behind schedule. But it sounds like they were talking again, like the lawyer. And, hey, man, come on, man, let's bring it. All the libs. Sorry, there's no more libbers. There's 2 people. Americans, communists. Producers, parasites. You choose. Which one are you? Do you like stealing from people and calling it redistribution of wealth? We got a couple birdies for you. Chirp, chirp, chirp. I know none of you diehard people, hopefully you're laughing at that. You're like, yeah. We got little birdies on our Trump settlement in Colombia. Whatever, dude. Yeah, I hate when they do this, because now my memory is really bad. Oh, yeah, that's right. Trump's going to visit the Federal Reserve building. So, I apologize. I think I alluded to this, but I didn't really get into this. We might have to put these back on, guys. So apparently, the Federal Reserve building is getting remodeled. Why like $1 billion? Like, why does it cost so damn much? Like all these like luxury things. And here's where Jay Powell needs to kind of quake in his boots. Trump can't fire him per se. They have this. I think it's called cause. It sounds like clause, but apparently, if he's doing something that's not, it's kind of like, all right, how do you kind of prove it? I guess I don't know. It might be up to you. It's not a jury of your peers, of course, but however, if you perjure yourself, that's like, oh hey, instant, you're gone. It's not really firing. You just broke the law, right? Like you broke the law. We're gonna put you in prison. So, maybe a week before, Jay Powell talked to Congress, and Congress was asking about these things, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's not there. That's not true. Blah blah blah." But there was an investigation through, because there's all these committees. It's actually ironic. We have so much bureaucracy. They actually caught it for once, right? Like for once. Holy shit, the bureaucracy did its job, and like, hey, perfect. It's irony at its finest. But they're like, oh no, here's all these internal memos, and the commission planning board and whatnot. It's got all this stuff has to get approved because you got to have the T, right? You got to have the right font and the right size, right? You got to have, right. So even though we don't need this bureaucracy, you got to file these papers anyway. So it's almost like you don't necessarily need the bureaucracy, but sometimes it's there to push and slow things down so that everything's above board. Well, guess what? It's all these memos and whatnot. So I mean, he's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. So everything goes through him. So he lied. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. I haven't seen that commercial in forever. Oh my God. Those were, anyway, I don't want to get a diatribe between. I got to go back, guys. I got to go back to childhood. And I got to warn my kid self, but I have to be a kid. Because if I come back like this, I'll be like, who the hell are you, old man? My dad might be looking at me like, you kind of look like me, but you don't. He'll look at my younger self. He'll be like, where were we going with it? Yeah. So he might need to be doing some explaining. So yeah, that motion hasn't happened. So this feels like groundwork to yoink him out. Get him out of there. Now, the question will be, all right, who does he put? Or do we remind Federal Reserve that you are not constitutional? And then we go, you know what? Get. Take all the buildings. There's 12 of them. One in D.C. Actually, that's 13. Uh-oh. That's kind of odd, isn't it? It's kind of odd. It's quinkydink, right? Look it up, guys. Tinfoil hat. It's not tinfoil hat, actually. I just say that because that's what everyone says. It's like, well, it's right there. There's data right there. Read it. Hurry up and read it before they get rid of it, right? Yeah. So we don't know. Now, I don't know. There's a voice out there. They're saying get rid of the Federal Reserve or Jay Powell, put someone else in there, and then lower interest rates. I don't know if that's a good idea, okay? I will disagree if that's what Trump is going to... That's what he wants to do. I kind of understand what he's getting at, but that's not... Lower interest rate don't necessarily help more Americans. It depends on what type of American you're talking about, though. But at a high level, a lower interest rate means the government pays less interest. So I think where he's going with this is to reduce the U.S. government's borrowing cost. So if he does do this, I hope it's short term, because they got to cut spending, right? So if your interest payments go down, that means your budget gap gets smaller, right? Now it's still, but we'll take every reduction in gap as possible, right? The tariffs that we're not paying, the other countries are paying, whatever they say, and they lying to you. That money is actually more than we thought, and it's a surplus. So I'm surprised it's actually kind of working this way right now, this quickly. But we have a lot of room between what we're spending and what we're making, right? So maybe Trump's idea is to do all that, reduce the gap, kind of pay that down or whatever he has on that, right? And then maybe back, because what happens is that, now again, it depends. So long-term rates may not necessarily go down. So that's kind of the weird thing now, especially in the environment that we're in. Because typically, reduction in interest rates going into recession, that typically affects the whole yield curve. But if that happens, then actually inflation risk will go high. So then the long end of the curve, the rates may actually go up. So why I say that is because real estate is typically tied, mortgage interest rates are kind of tied to the 10-year treasury note. Not one for one, but that's kind of like, that's the benchmark, and then there's normally we'll call it a premium, right? So if long-term rates are 5, there might be 1%, so then you would be charged a 6% interest rate. So, right, and higher interest rates may cool down the rise in housing prices. It's real hard to tell, guys. That's why I'm not like saying, oh my God, it's the end of the world if rates go down. Me personally, I kind of want them here because I'm putting money in a bank and I get interest, right? So if the rates go down, my rate. So I have a selfish reason, but if short-term rates are lower, it just means there's going to be inflation later. So, and there's also a case of, well, maybe not necessarily the housing prices go down. Maybe they go up. I don't know. It all depends on the long interest rates. It also depends. There's a lot of variables. Sorry, guys. It also depends on what the greater economy is. So if we lower rates, but the economy is not in a recession, that'll probably like turbocharge the growth. Now, if there's segments of the economy that need, because it's kind of odd. We know some parts of the segment are gaining jobs and others that are losing. Like I work at GM and they're cutting people left and right. Now, I think they were going to do this anyway. And now with the tariffs, oh, hey, the tariffs are hurt. They'll just blame the tariffs. It's a nice, convenient out, right? They have an out. They're lying to us, but whatever, right? That they say what they say. So I don't know, guys. Again, typically lower or short-term interest rates being lower, that typically elevates asset classes because most of everything's denominated in dollars. So your stock market would go up. Probably Bitcoin, gold, silver, precious metals. Maybe housing, it just depends because housing's more based on debt because most real estate you have to secure with some type of, you just. So anyway, we'll see what's going on. I can't believe it's that many. It's been this long? Did I talk that long about the economy? Sorry. But it's kind of important. At least that was. So we might have some things going on. The E-list is going on. That's still in the background. We'll see how that goes here. I wanted to see if they had anything else. So we'll spend another minute here. Yeah, Glasgow Maxwell answered every question in DOJ interview. So that's a 1 hour. So from the Telegraph. I don't really like the Telegraph. That's a minute. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll bring some more. I don't know. I think they should. It'd be really nice if Trump pardons her. And then she goes to the case or brings something out. Although if we pardon her, she'll probably need the biggest, what's that? Witness protection program of all kind. Like, there'll be Hillary going after her, Hillary's minions, Obama and Michelle / Michael, Bill Gates. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's in federal prison for a reason, for her own safety. I don't know, guys. Like I said, it's like there could be a reason for and against everything nowadays. So everything is never face value. What is this? Trump urges federal interest rates to come down during... Yeah. So he told the Federal Reserve again, and Jay Powell ain't going to do shit, pardon my French. So yeah, unfortunately, but I think again, it might be short-term pain, but you got to put yourself in Donald Trump's shoes. So what he's hoping for is that the economy really, really comes back, because if we can get money moving again, if we can get people working again, that means more economic activity. The more economic activity, it's a feedback loop going up, right? It's not a downward one, right? When it's all contracting. So even though it might stoke some inflation, the key will be, well, where's the inflation going? Is it transitory or permanent? Again, right? He wants to get the economy working, wants people working. Because if the economy is growing at that rate, then that means the inflation is more bearable, right? Like, what we don't want is inflation to be like 10% and the economy not even grow. That's horrible. That's like the worst, right? So let's say inflation's at like 8%, again, depending on how you measure it. Let's say it's at 8%, but if the economy's growing at 12%, perfect. I mean, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you get the point, right? Like, if we actually grow faster than inflation, that's something. That means we can kind of get out, right? And then the more economic activity, we don't even have to raise taxes. Tax rates, I should say. We'll just get more money because there's more activity, right? Because 10% of 0 is 0, right? But 10% of 100, it's 10, and 10% of 200 is 20. So your nominal amount is growing, but your tax rate is the same. That is what Ronald Reagan tried to do during the 80s, and he only got a portion of that, and it didn't quite work out the way that everyone wanted him to get. But that was the idea, and that's kind of why the big 80s kind of happened. Now, again, that was coming off of the 70s, and the interest rates were so damn high. So everything was really brutal, because I kind of remember that as a little kid. Anyway, guys, let's see. Oversight panel, subpoena. We already said that one. Oh, but the files. Okay, so that's another one. Trump and Jerome Powell have public disagreement over embattled Fed renovation project. Okay, so it's actually on here. So they're finally reporting it. So, I don't know, guys. We'll see. All right, 23 minutes. That's actually way too long than I wanted. Pardon me about the economy. I would like to have more conversations about that. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And the economy is multifaceted. And even when you look at one type of variable, like things, like even the economy of 20 years ago, it's not even the same now. Like, like even like Homefront probably remembers like how the economy was. Like I remember how it was like when I was an early teenager, and then about to go into college, and then post college, and then hell, I'm, like 2000, like right before 2009, 2008. Yeah, it's different. It's totally different. That's an understatement, right? But hey, anyway, we'll find that stop button. Yeah, what the hell we're going to call this one, guys? I don't know. All you diehard people, thank you for stopping by. Haters, we love you. We want to embrace you. We know you don't really you're not real happy about yourself. And, maybe you want to use me as a target. Hey, go right ahead. This is what this channel is for. It is for your entertainment. Whoever you are, you can laugh at me, say, oh my God, Frank spent 25 minutes talking about endless nothing. That's fine. That's your opinion. You watched the video. I appreciate you for watching the video, irregardless, all right? So with that said, guys, tomorrow's Friday. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Bye.